Hey there, everybody. So we are here with the finals match of our locals from last week at Sully's. The matchup here is going to be Jeremy playing ShineGrey on the left and Jose playing Royal Knights on the right. Like I said, this should wrap up the kind of locals for this match. Let us know this week what you guys think about this new format of videos. We're hoping to do this not just for locals moving forward, but maybe some interesting matchups that we've had like in the past. So if you like what I have to say, if you love what TJ has to say, let us know. I think both of us are pretty excited about this. So if you guys like it, we'll keep doing it.
Nobody loves what I have to say.
Oh, everybody does. Don't worry. Don't worry.
No.
We get there. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, I think both players are having a pretty good night. I think Jose, we've seen a previous matchup in round 1 against myself. Jeremy honestly has been cooking with his ShineGrey deck over the past few weeks when he's been around. I know he took a break recently just to kind of refresh himself with this format getting kind of stale, which I agree with.
Yeah. BT13, it's been a long format for everybody. You know, it's a lot of OTK decks right now. It's almost reminiscent of BT9 in a way. It's very it's stressful. It can be stressful and it can be very, very tiring because you don't see that much variation right now.
Yeah, but Jose chooses to go or he went first. He hatches and plays out a Sister Mod Seal to search. He'll pick up, I believe it was the Dynus. Was it? I missed that.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So passes Jeremy to 4. He goes into his Koro. Which is an interesting one. I know a lot of players for Shine will prefer, at least like from lists that we've seen like in regionals and stuff, like prefer the red base, like the red egg. But I think most of our Shine players, at least at our locals, are using the yellow base. I personally like the yellow base better too.
I'm a yellow guy. I like it. I think it's better. Can't convince me otherwise.
Jeremy, he plays the Kuda, chooses to play Kuda for 3, picks up a Marcus and I believe another piece for his line, and then plays out the Search or Agu for 3. So just more search and a dig in for Jeremy. Which is a rough search, admittedly here, because he's revealed 3 level 5s.
It's in one hand it's like, oh nice, like he sees his top end, but on the other hand 2 of those cards are going to the bottom, or 3 of those cards are going to the bottom of the deck, and that's 1 level 6 and 2 level 5s he's short on.
Yeah.
Which makes his chances if something happens in that stack of finding those pieces and being able to make a comeback a lot harder.
Yeah.
A lot harder.
Jose swings with Sister and lives, which is unfortunate for Jeremy, but good for Jose. And he chooses to play a Dynus to pass turn, picks up his pieces, and Jeremy chooses to stay in the back, swings with Agu, hits an Exa, swings with Kuda, hits Kentaros. So some early chip damage, which not bad,
No, it's pretty good. I mean, like, usually getting those couple of chips, and I think we talked about this one the first time we recorded too. Jeremy's mentality, I think, was very much try and get those early chips in, so I can put him in a position where he can't protect against all the damage I'm going to dish out in a turn.
Yeah, which pays off because Sister swings into another Marcus, so I think Jeremy's set up pretty nicely when he can see his line.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do exactly what you were saying.
He's got 2 Marcus, so he can very easily just climb up that ladder that he needs to go up to make his plays. It's just about making sure he sees the pieces.
Yeah. I think right now, Jose realizes that, so he's trying to map out what he needs to do next.
Yeah, he realizes that Jeremy's trying to be a bit more quicker and low to the ground with how he's playing, and Jose, I think, is struggling to really try and see the right line to hold off.
Yeah, he's got a pretty thick hand.
Yeah.
He goes ahead and plays Alpha,
which is
not a bad play because it would shut down any potential Shine plays. Jeremy really goes for it here by pushing up his Marcuses, which is an interesting play for me.
Yeah, he's ready to just try and do that damage really quick. The Alpha's there to stop Jeremy from being able to swing with something big to finish it. Jeremy's staying pretty low to the ground. Does not whiff on the security, which is good. That means he's going to net himself a free memory back and be able to minus 3k on something. Asking Jose if he wants to cut it. Jose's like, nah, I'm good.
So he chooses to suspend, gain a memory, puts -3 on Sister, which then would not pop it, but allow him to draw.
-1 and then do that.
Marcus dies, unfortunately, into a Jess, but I think not the worst thing that could happen to Jeremy. I think he's deciding right now what his next line of action is going to be. So chooses to swing, go into Rise Gray, draw, and I believe he chooses to swing. He's deciding.
He's finishing resolving effects. He doesn't get that effect. He's just explaining what's going on.
Into a Leopard, which will recover his Marcus.
Yeah, which he's looking in a pretty good spot right now. Yeah. He's sitting in a pretty good spot. He's got his memory setter on board, which means he can't be choked next turn. He's got a Marcus in security. He's got his Rise Gray on board. And I think this is where he's struggling to see what he needs, though. I think he's missing a Shine.
Then he is going to choose to swing. He's deciding whether it's over Sister or into security. I feel like security would be risky because then you run the risk of just losing your entire stack.
I mean, if you swing into security, you know it's to die. Which he chooses the Sister. I do think. No, it's not a bad play. I don't know if swinging is the right call, but I guess
because you leave yourself vulnerable.
Yeah,
you know, he's able to
even
pick
low
up the
5-stack
Shine.
vulnerables. Yeah, which is what he was needing.
Right, but Jose chooses tuck in Alpha,
and so this is where it really just it comes back to bite him because he reduces it by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then there's enough cards in both players' trash.
Pop the Agu, gives it
play for 0,
and then pops a stack. Oof.
Yeah, and just swings over the gray, and now Jeremy's kind of back to square one.
Because going back of what you were saying before too, if he didn't choose to swing, I mean, you have 2 Marcuses or a Marcus at least in security, so you know if Sister would swing,
so
you force Jose to make that decision.
Well, and here's the thing too, right? If the sister swings, the Sister's gonna check the Marcus, not die. So he cannot play that Gallant and reduce the cost additionally by the trash the cards in trash.
Right.
So he wouldn't have been able to. He could have played the Gallant off of the Royal Knight play, but then he wouldn't have been able to get the swings with it. That's it.
Right. Which I think kind of is like sort of what we were talking about in previous videos too, where like we can kind of say that looking at it retrospectively. But I think in the moment, you kind of feel that heat of Royal Knights too, because it's like, you know, I need to make a play because you can easily clap me back next turn. And
there's no way for Jeremy to know that Jose had the Gallant. Cause I don't think Jose picked the Gallant off of a Search. No. I mean, if he did, then I'm being silly Billy. But I don't think he picked up a Search. I'm pretty sure he just drew into it. So there's no way for Jeremy to know that's there.
Your Gallant's such a good card. The more I think about it, I'm like, holy, that is a card.
It's a good card. Does a lot of damage, a lot of things.
Now Jeremy's put Jose at 2. Jose's got 3 in his Royal Knight stack.
He knows there's a Marcus in security. He's trying to think what he wants to do. I think he's thinking a bit more defensively right now. Yep.
Spits out the Genku to play out the
Gallant, so the Gallant can delete that, which is, I mean, it's a good play.
It's
a good play. Now he has a blocker on board. Jeremy's still kind of on the back foot at the moment.
Right. Because, yes, he has 3, but he has a Kuda, which means that any Evo is going to cost him 3, and any subsequent Evo will push Jose up to 3, which he's sort of in the danger zone of right now.
Yeah. The best thing he can do is choke Jose to 2, really. There's not many other ways he can really choke Jose otherwise.
Yeah. So he plays out another Kuda to search, which lets him pick up a Geo Gray.
Yep.
which, if it were an Agu, could potentially choke Jose to 2, but unfortunately has to evo into it for 3 to play out another Marcus. And we are sitting at 4 security now, which is scary for Jeremy, I think, in this spot.
Yeah. And one of the unfortunate things here, too, is I think Jeremy mentioned this after the game, is that he didn't know that Dynas was in the stack there, that's sort of like kind of gotten pushed under.
Sure.
But yeah, this is just, it puts Jose in a perfect position. It gives him, that's why I'll never play Kuda in my ShineGrey deck. If you put him to 2.
You read my mind. I was about to bring that up because I know you got thoughts about it.
Yep. I can understand the want. I can see the benefits, but I think that, and I think I said this too the first time we recorded this. 1 memory is so much in this game right now. Like, when you really think about how many decks gain memory, cheat memory, reduce play costs, like, there's so many things that just don't care. And Jose is just going in. The sister gains rush because of the Omni, and that's it. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
It's just having that 1 extra memory was all Jose needed to just close the game out. Jeremy showing his hand, just kind of being gummed up.
Yeah.
Not having many other choices.
And because I mean, like you said, it just slows down the deck, which you would think 1 memory is, what's the worst that could happen? There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot that could happen.
A lot that could happen, especially with Royal Knights. When Royal Knights, all they need is that 1 extra memory to be able to play Omni like that. But yeah.
I think well played by Jose. Well played by Jeremy too. I mean, I think Jeremy did what he could. I think it just was unfortunate that he was missing. If he were able to see that shine, I think with his stack, he'd be sitting in maybe a potentially different situation.
Yeah.
But I think just unfortunate that he couldn't find his top end. Because I think the early plays by Jeremy were really good.
Yeah, he had a really good early board setup. He had a good early state of the game. It really just sort of turned on him when he swung with the Rise over the Sister and left it unsuspended.
Yeah.
Or left it suspended. That was really where it flipped.
How the turntables.
Which, I mean, admittedly, I probably would have done. I probably would have done the same thing too.
I probably would.
I get it. Want to stop that extra chip.
Alright, so round 2.
Knowing me, I get lost in the sauce. I wouldn't think about the advantages of Marcus coming out of security if he swings.
Me too.
Alrighty.
Jeremy goes first. Goes
Jose
into Agu in the back for...
always opens the Magnus. Every time. He
what?
Doesn't miss.
Agu for what?
So Jeremy's been doing this cheeky thing recently. I call it cheeky because it has weirdly kind of worked a couple of times. I don't know. I mean, I can't account for all of his games. He's been winning a lot recently, so maybe that is to attest for it. Where he chooses not to use the alternate Evo cost to Digivolve for 0, and he chooses to Digi for 1 to choke his opponent to 1 turn 1.
Oh, interesting.
Rather than Digi for free and then go into level 4 and put him to 2.
Cheeky. I like it.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea. I don't know how well it always goes. I feel like sometimes you want to be able to be in your level 4 so you can go to your level 5 the next turn.
Yeah.
But for Shine, it's also not terrible because you can put your opponent to 1.
Yeah.
And then they pass you memory back over, and then you push up, and then you can go into your Geogray and yada yada. And you're not wasting that level 4 in hand, and you're still getting some advantage out of it because your opponent can't really do much.
Yeah, and I think in Jeremy's situation too, it seems like he had a pretty decent hand where he could afford to lose that stack. As we saw.
Yeah.
He was able to play the Marcus out. Yeah, the stack died, but he was able to go right back into a Rise Gray.
Magnet to free, choke him to 1. There's also the sad thing too. I'm pretty sure he top decked a Marcus. Oh no, it was a Geogray, I think. I thought it was a Marcus that he top decked off with the Rise there, but I don't believe it.
Chooses to push up with Rise Gray, pays the 1 to push Marcus up, goes into Shine. So that would neg the Magna enough to pop it.
Yep. So it's gonna neg 7, 8
2 checks
total
with Marcus. Ooh.
Yeah, which that does delete him.
That does delete Marcus.
He is 6k right now.
That's unfortunate.
Jeremy can't play anything by an effect. Any Digimon rather.
Right. So at this
point, I'm just trying to decide what to do.
I mean, I think I would probably just swing with Shine, because at this point, what do you have to lose? Unless, okay. So we go play Agu for 3 to pick up.
I think he's trying to, he's learning from the other game where he swung too early with a stack.
Sure, yeah.
And he's more in the mindset right now of like, I'm going to just wait and try not to risk the stack and force him to have to work harder to get rid of this, potentially.
Sure. Which is fair, especially with this deck where it's like,
yeah,
you can choose to build your Drassel stack or choose to deal with my board state.
Yeah, and immediately too right now, like Jose's only real way of clearing that is if he has an All Force, because Gallant's not going to be able to play and pop it.
Right.
I don't think there's. I mean, Jesmon, he doesn't have enough Royal Knights on board to get there. He'd have to have like 3 more bodies on board. It looks like Jose's looking at the alpha play here just to try and stall a little bit. Then he second guesses it because he's thinking about costs and how he's going to set Jeremy on his turn in regards to memory.
That Ruin Mode's still sitting in hand. It's scaring me every time I see that, man.
Just thinking about the Genku. Thinking about just dropping the Omni just to delete it.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad play. You could do that. Then the Omni gets tucked under, and then the fun thing is that when you do make your Omni play to pop Yggdrasil and play it all your own nights, you can play that Omni off it because it don't care that it's not another Omni coming out of there. I stuttered. I get there.
We get there.
So Jose just sort of mulling it over, really trying to think about what he wants to do. He knows this is a pivotal moment in the game right now. Because if he doesn't net some advantage off of this, there is a good chance that Jeremy just can start sort of rolling through because he'll be able to start building another stack and back, keep his Shine Grey stack on board, and he has an Agu in front that he could potentially search for his Marcuses to get them back out with.
So he chooses to Purge to play out a Gallant, which would pop.
It won't pop anything on play because
No.
Purge doesn't activate on play effects, but he can, when attacking, still do stuff. But instead, he opts to Genku to play out Jess and pop the Agu. So now this is weird to me. This is where I would have just gone ahead and swung with the Gallant. I mean, it has Rush. You might as well.
Yeah.
You're 13k. Even if you do die in security, it's not the worst thing.
No, he knows that Marcus is there, though.
Oh, you know what? You're true. True and real and right.
So if he swung and gives him the Marcus, then I think Jeremy's got a lot more gas to cook with.
Yes, you are. You're definitely correct.
So now I think Jose.
I'm a bad player.
Get out! No. No. But I think Jose. What Jose's basically done is now he's threatened Jeremy with a board of 3. Choked him to 1, and was like, "Deal with this." Which Jeremy chooses to definitely do something. He deletes Jess. He plays Final Shining Burst for 8, which lets him play to Marcus. Marcus will suspend on play to give him Jose 6. Which, I mean, it's a play. It's definitely a play.
Problem is, it makes the Omni play so doable.
Yeah. It does cheat out Jose of a Royal Knight to help reduce it less, but giving that memory does hurt because now Jose can do a whole lot of things.
And now Jose's just the mind like, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna just roll that to the Purge.
Yeah.
Which they do catch the memory. Don't worry. Here it comes. There it goes. But they do that, and
I think
so now Jose netted himself 2 turns of advantage with that.
I think Jose took that, and I think played it really well because, you know, he could have easily got lost in the sauce and been like, I have 6 memory, let me try to go yada yada yada, you know. I think he did the right thing and was just like, look, like, I'm in a good spot now. He's clearly missing pieces, right? Let's just set up. Let's try to get advantage, and he did. You know, he has, like you said, he has a 2-turn advantage now. He's pretty much cooking next turn, regardless of what Jeremy does, I think.
Yeah. Maybe 1-turn advantage because he did lose the Jess, so he's he's kind of back.
I see it as 2 just because, like, we know that Jeremy has to now physically find a way to play out a Marcus, which he had to push the stack up, go into Geo Gray. He still can't do anything with these Marcuses outside of I think potential burst mode play.
And right now, I think he's missing the burst mode.
Right.
I think that's the biggest issue. Because I think if he had the burst mode, he definitely could have had game there.
Right. And I think Jose was able to read that because I think Jeremy definitely would have, I think, burst mode played last turn. The fact that he had to do that final Shining Burst probably tells Jose that he's missing burst mode. But yeah, he does it well. Like, he chokes Jose to 1. Which
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
At
10,
this point,
12.
With Leopard in the stack, I don't know if it's relevant anymore. Right?
Yeah. And the thing is, here is Jose. Like, Omni is a 12 drop for Jose right now. Or sorry, it's reduced by 12 because it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yep. Purge to play up Leopard.
Well, this is where Jose gets really clever because he tucked the Leopard earlier. He goes ahead and still does it. Can reduce by 4. So it allows him to save the memory to play out the Omni, and this is just such a good play. Yeah, he can play out the pop. He can play out the Gallant to pop the Geo. No other on plays are gonna resolve. He could have played a Sister from Trash off the Genku. I don't remember if he does or not. No, he doesn't.
Swing with Exa to suspend Shine. One check with Marcus.
Yep. Actually, I think he doesn't have a sister. I'm thinking the first game when he had a sister.
Omni swings over the Shine, taking away the stack. Gallant swings to pop Agu. Oof. Oh, there's the burst mode. Oh,
she dies.
That's sad.
But at this point, it's like... It's hard. There's not much Jeremy can do. He has his Tamer set up, but he lost his board. He didn't have anything in back.
Yeah. I think it was just a matter of... It just hurt Jeremy just not seeing his pieces. Like that top end.
I think... the best thing he could have done really would have been... And the problem is, too, is Leopardmon gives everything blocker. So he has 6 big blockers, and that Exa is going to suspend something. I think the best thing Jeremy could have done was to just leave the Geo Gray and back instead of using it to play to Marcus.
Yeah.
Like, in hindsight.
Right, but I think that's a tough call, too, because it's like he's kind of feeling that pressure now, so he feels like he's got to make efficient plays to get his Tamers out, which almost feels like, you know, getting that Geo out is your best bet, you know?
Yeah.
So he goes ahead, tries to swing with Marcus, which allows him to go into Geo Gray.
To be fair, too, it's not like a bad idea either. Like, it's just hard because, I mean, realistically, Jose was not there for memory. Jose just saw the Leopard play, and that was it. And I don't think Jeremy saw that. And to be fair, I don't think most people, unless you play Royal Knights a lot, will see that play. It's very easy to forget that you can stack those on-play reduction costs effects to...
I am only aware of it because it's happened to me so many damn times. I'm like, God, fuck.
Yeah, if you have a Leopard under your stack and you're at, like... You're reducing by like 10 or 11, and then you go ahead and you play him out with a Royal Knight of the Purge. You main effect to reduce by 4. Like, there's so many ways to.
It's such a.
It makes Omni a 10 drop instead of a 14 drop, and then you can further reduce it with Yggdrasil and do the whole thing and do your play. It's just it's very good.
It's just a very smooth, classy play. Like, it's when you pull it off, it's just like, you know what, props.
Yeah, it looks good and it feels good for the Royal Knight player. Not so much if you're on the receiving end.
I can attest to that.
So, Jeremy just goes ahead, Digivolts into Rise. Keeps some presence.
He just says...
He just flips it over. He knows, like, he already played his final Shining Burst. There's no options there that are going to clear a board full of level 6s and a level 4.
Yeah. It's just a rough spot, like you said. He was just missing what he needed at the right moments, which I think would have been enough to go for game. It's just he didn't have it.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a good game.
Yeah,
it was still a good game.
Props to both players. I mean, getting our locals, Loki has been getting pretty strong. You know, I think we've added a lot of Jose's been coming a lot, and he's a really strong player. Anthony's a really strong player, and I think
Anthony's
all of
machine.
Us have,
I haven't seen a more consistent machine player in all my life. It's terrifying.
You know, get top 5 in Gen Con for nothing, you know.
Yeah, true and real.
I think we've really benefited from having better players come by and help us get better. So, yeah, I mean, I think both players well done. Jeremy particularly has been topping a lot, I think, whenever he showed up. So he's really been cooking.
He's been doing good.
So yeah, that was it for our locals this week. If you guys enjoy this, we'll definitely be churning more of this out. I know TJ and I both enjoy just kicking it and shooting the shit. So for our benefit, we may just do it for fun. So
true. Honestly,
if you guys like this, you'll be seeing more of it. Let us know what you guys think. The links, like I said before, to the other rounds will be in the description below. And we'll see you on the flippy flip. Bye.
Bye.